Hello everyone, I am extremely happy to welcome you all for my today's presentation. My topic of today's presentation is thin layer chromatography. Myself, Dr. Priyadarshini. For proper understanding of my topic, the contents of my presentation are Introduction to thin layer chromatography, Principle of thin layer chromatography, Advantages and limitations of thin layer chromatography, what are the practical requirements of thin layer chromatography, qualitative analysis and its application. First, introduction to thin layer chromatography. Thin layer chromatography is a technique which is the most simplest, fastest, easiest and least expensive technique in which a solid stationary phase and a liquid mobile phase has been utilized. This thin layer chromatography is one more advanced technique of a chromatographic method. What is chromatographic method? Chromatography is a basic continuous development technique where the mixtures of components have been separated into an individual component. This separation has been possible for the multi-components or either the complexity of the samples or a complex component for the individual separation. And thin layer chromatography is again a technique which was been developed by various scientists like Isamalo and Cheribert has separated plant extract by using 2 mm thick and firm layer of alumina set on a glass in the year 1938. Second was Condensate, Jordan and Martin used filter paper for the separation of amino acids in the year 1944. And again, Krishner has identified the terpenes on the filter paper in the year 1950, where finally Staff developed standard equipment for analyzing the TLC in the year 1958. Basically, this is a typical diagrammatic representation of thin layer chromatography. What is the basic principle of thin layer chromatography? The principle of separation is absorption. The component move according to their relative affinity towards the stationary phase. That is, the component which is having more affinity towards stationary phase will travel slow, and whereas the components which is having less affinity towards stationary phase will travel fast. Thus, the components are being separated on the basis of their affinity. This is a typical diagrammatic representation of thin layer chromatography. In the base, there is a mobile phase, and here a TLC plate is been kept, and this entire is known as TLC chamber. And here the line is been given, that is called a spotting line, where the samples has been spotted from bottom above 2 centimeter. The sample has to be spot for the analysis. Next point of discussion is advantages and limitations. Now see, as I have already said to you, the TLC is the most simplest, cost effective equipment. It is very rapid and less time consuming technique. Very much minute samples, that is separation is possible for micrograms, can be achieved over here. Detection is very easy and which is not at all tedious. Capacity of thin layer as per the requirement can be altered, and hence it can be utilized as analytical as well as preparative separation. Next point is limitations. Now here the limitations are whatever the result obtained by TLC, that is thin layer chromatography, are difficult to reproduce, and only the soluble components of a mixtures are possible to analyze, and as well as only qualitative analysis is possible in the TLC, not quantitative analysis. It is a not automatic system, as well as this TLC is an open system, therefore the results can be affected by temperature or humidity. Next point is what are the instrumentation of TLC, or you can also call it as a practical requirements of TLC. First is stationary phase, second mobile phase, third is glass plate, preparation and activation of TLC plate, application of sample, development tank, development techniques or types of TLC, detection and visualizing agent. First is stationary phase. There are several types of absorbent are utilized as a stationary phase, like silica gel H. Silica gel H is a composition of silica gel without binder, that is in the ratio of water and absorbent 1 is to 1.5. Silica gel G, silica gel GF. GF stands for silica gel plus binder plus fluorescent indicator in the ratio of absorbent and water, that is 1 is to 2. Then alumina is been also utilized, alumina without binder, alumina neutral, acidic, basic in the ratio of 1 is to 1. 1.1, or you can also utilize as an absorbent that Al2O3 cellulose powder plus binder, cellulose powder without binder, Kisilgarji, which is a composition of diatomaceous earth plus binder, polyamide powders, which is a composition of only polyamide in the ratio of 1:9, and there are many more adsorbents utilized as in a stationary phase. Next point of your instrumentation is mobile phase. Here, the mobile phase utilization depends on various factors like nature of the substance to be sprayed, nature of stationary phase which has been utilized in the separation technique, what is the nature of stationary phase and what will be the nature of mobile phase, what is the mode of chromatography. Now in this case, mode of chromatography means what? Like normal phase and reverse phase, separation to be achieved by analytical or preparative. Next point of instrumentation is glass plate. The glass plate utilized for TLC are of various sizes available, like full plate is 20 into 20 centimeter, half plate is 20 into 10, quarter plate is 20 into 5 centimeter. Now these microscopic slide are utilized for some of the applications, like where the chemical reaction has to be monitored, or development of any chemical reactions, or development of any drug. At that time, small amount of sample has to be analyzed. At that time, you can utilize this microscopic slide as a TLC plate for your analysis. Next point of your instrumentation is preparation and activation of TLC plate. The slurry is prepared by a stationary phase in water, and after preparing the slurry, the preparation of TLC plate is been made by these following techniques. Like technique number 1 is known as pouring technique, technique number 2 is dipping technique, third is spraying technique, and fourth is spreading technique. First is pouring technique. Now in this pouring technique, the slurry is prepared and poured on the top of glass plate, which is maintained at a level surface, and the slurry is uniformly sprayed on the surface of the glass plate. After settling the plate, it has been dried in the hot air oven, and for this method the disadvantage is that uniformity of thickness cannot be maintained over here. Second method is known as dipping method. Dipping method, the plates are dipped on a beaker where the slurry is made. The disadvantage of this method is only that the large amount of slurry is required for the preparation of this TLC plate. Next, third number is spraying technique. Now in this spraying technique resembles that using a perfume spray on a cloth. The suspension of adsorbent or slurry is sprayed on a glass plate, and the spraying is possible by utilizing a specific sprayer over here. Now here again the disadvantage is also there, that is uniformity is not possible as compared to the other methods. And last, fourth technique, which is known as spreading technique. In case of spreading technique, here the slurry are sprayed on a TLC plate by a specifically designed spreader, or the slurry is been kept in the TLC reservoir spreader where the slurry is sprayed on a TLC plate. Usually 0.25 mm thickness of the slurry is sprayed for the analytical purpose, and 2 mm thickness is been sprayed for the preparative analysis. Next is activation of TLC plate. The activation removes the water or moisture and or other absorbed substance from the surface of the TLC plate by heating that plate in a hot air oven from 100 to 180 degree for around 1 hour. Next point of instrumentation is application of sample. The concentration of samples or standard solution what has to be applied for the analysis should be a minimum quantity, like 2 to 5 microliter of 1% solution of either sample or standard should be prepared, and the sample must be applied by the capillary tube or micropipette. The spot should be kept at least 2 centimeter above from the base of the plate, and for any specific analysis of a method or any sample that has to be analyzed, at least 4 spots has to be spotted on a quarter plate. Like already I have given you the types of different plates available, that was full plate, half plate, and quarter. Full was 20 into 20 centimeter, half was 20 into 10 centimeter, and quarter plate, that is 20 into 5 centimeter. Next is development tank. The development tank should be lined inside with the filter paper, and that filter paper has to be moistened with the mobile phase, so that the chromatographic chamber is said to be saturated by inside at a particular temperature. For further development method or standard method, it is always recommended to use the development tank only. That is chromatographic development tank. The newly available development tank or chromatographic chamber have a hump inside. Like this kind of a hump is been possible in the middle, which requires very less amount of solvent and which can be utilized in a less amount of solvent as a mobile phase for the analysis. Next point of your study is development techniques or types. See, when you call it as development techniques or types, it can be of four categories. One dimensional development technique, which is called as vertical development technique, two dimensional development technique, horizontal, and multiple development techniques. One dimensional, as already we have studied in our previous videos and slide. What was the one dimensional technique? Can anybody just recall it once? Yes. In this technique, the plates are kept vertically and allowed to flow by the capillary action against the gravity. Two-dimensional techniques, one from one axis the sample has been developed, and after drying on the other axis the sample again has to be developed. And next is horizontal and multiple development techniques. Then detection and visualization. Whatever the TLC has analyzed, that has to be detected and properly visualized. For the color sample, direct visualization, direct by your eyes, you can see the developed samples, or either when there are different types of samples which are colorless, at that time you have to require some advanced methods like non-specific methods and specific method. In case of non-specific method, different chambers are available like iodine chamber, sulfuric acid method, UV chamber for fluorescent compounds, or certain sometime depending upon the complexity of the sample, the stationary phase only has to be analyzed by or utilized by the fluorescent stationary phase, fluorescent sample for the preparation of that stationary phase for analyzing the complex mixtures. And the specific methods like ferric chlorides are there, anhydride acidones are there, Dagendorf reagents are there, 3,5-dinitrobenzoic acids and 2,4-diphenylhydrazine. Different types of chemical reagents are utilized for different types of components to be analyzed. Like what you can say, anhydrines have been utilized for amino acid, Dagendorf is utilized for alkaloids, three acetones have been analyzed by this ferric chlorides, dinitrobenzoic acids, and 2,4-diphenylhydrazine also has been utilized for the some other types of chemical compounds that has to be properly visualized. Okay. Next is qualitative analysis. Now see, this TLC basically is a technique of qualitative analysis for identification. Now this identification or qualitative analysis is been possible by utilizing a formula which is called as RF value, which is known as retardation factor. What is RF value and what is retardation factor? It is a specific and constant for it is a value which is a specific and constant for every compound in a particular combination of a stationary phase and mobile phase. Wherever a sample has to be analyzed, any sample that has to be analyzed must have a specific combination of a stationary phase and a mobile phase, and for that particular specific combination of a stationary phase and mobile phase, a typical RF value is only representation for that. Now see, whenever we analyze samples, the RF value ranges from 0 to 1, but the ideal value is from 0.3 to 0.8, and the RF value is been calculated by the formula, that is RF equals to distance traveled by solute divided by distance traveled by solvent front in the TLC plate. Okay. And finally, the applications of TLC. TLC is a very useful technique which is utilized for the separation of mixtures like different drugs, chemicals, biological origins, plant extracts, etc. It is useful for identification of drugs like digoxin, levodopa, and many more drugs like methyl dopa, and else goes on. It is useful for detection of foreign substances present in the drug, useful for the decomposition of products, and many more wide applications are also available for TLC. Last but not least, thank you very much for listening to me very patiently. If you have any doubt or any query regarding this topic, please write in the chat box. Thank you. Thank you all.